Okay, today we're going to do a few core exercises. So we're going to be working the muscles that wrap around our torso, come up and down the abdominal, our back, and our glutes. Everything that supports our main body and supports the movement of our arms and legs. Core strength gives us stability and helps with our balance and is really important to being able to lift weight above your head safely. So it's very important, and we do it as often as we can. So we're going to start today with just a few core exercises that I would do when starting off people on a new program. So the first one is called Birddog, and you may know many of these. So on your hands and knees, you're going to lift opposite hand and foot at the same time. Hold it as long as you, hold it for a couple of counts, stretching across, balancing on the other hand and knee, and then bringing it in. And out with the other side, and in. So these exercises are nice and slow. We're not working up a cardio here. We're working on the muscles, mostly in our back. You'll feel it in your abdominal, in your transverse abdominis, which wraps around your front to back. You're building endurance in those muscles and strength. And to start, just count 8 on both sides. I'm not good at counting, so I don't know where we're at. Okay, we'll do one more on each side and pretend that's 8. All right, rolling over. Next one's called a Deadbug, and you'll see people doing this many different ways. The trick is to move one arm and one leg at the same time while the other two stay stationary. So with my knees bent and my arms up in the air, my opposite hand and opposite leg will extend while the other two don't move. So now we're working on our core stability and our mind-to-body communication. So it's not an easy task when you get started with this. Stretch and extend foot and arm, bring them back. Stretch and extend the other opposites. And you're working your core, again, in your abdominal, front. Keeping one knee bent up should prevent your lower back from arching. If you find that your lower back is rounding up when you drop your leg, just don't drop your leg quite as far when you're getting started. Okay? You should be able to maintain just a natural, small, little roundedness in that lower back. And if you need to, if your back is very weak or this doesn't feel comfortable, you can roll up a little towel and place it under your back. Okay, so that's the basic Deadbug. Okay, so now we're going to do more abdominals by doing a reverse curl. And we start with our back, shoulder, and head staying on the ground. You can brace yourself with your hands on the floor at the side, and you're going to bring your knees up, curl your knees towards you, lifting your hips and lower back off the floor, and then curl down till your feet touch the floor. Knees are always bent. So push up, curl up. So now to make it harder, you just have your hands off the floor so they're not bracing you, or even having your arms right up to prevent them from helping with the lift. Curling, hips and lower back up, bringing your knees towards your chest, working your abs in front. This is much more comfortable on the neck and shoulders than the traditional curl up, which we also do, but I won't be doing today. Okay, so at least 8 of those, and then we'll switch to another exercise to give our abdominals a break, and we're going to work our glutes. So in the same position, arms at your side. Now you're going to think about lifting your hips up, squeeze your glutes together. Try and make a straight line from your shoulders up to your knee if you can, or just lift your hips as high as you can. Squeeze your glutes as you lift. It supports your hips and down. So that's the main part about this, is working our glutes, our butt muscles back there. And you can keep your hands at your side, lift and hold for just a second or two, lift and hold, lift and hold. So you're pressing through your heels, not your toes. And the closer your feet are to your body, the easier it is. If you have your feet extended, you will probably feel it more in the hamstring. Those are weaker muscles, so that's going to get sore. So when you're starting, just heels closer to your body, lift and squeeze the glutes 8 times. Okay, and that also strengthens your lower back. Your glutes support your lower back, so that's helpful too. Okay, so now we're going to do the curl up with heel touch. So instead of just doing a straight curl up, because I told you we wouldn't do it, we're going to do the obliques. So side to side, you are going to lift your head and shoulders, and you reach for one heel and then the other. Reach for one heel and then the other. Reach, reach, reach. So just keep your chin up off your chest, looking up to the ceiling. So you're trying to keep your neck straight. And touch 8 times on both sides. Okay, so you're working your abdominals and your oblique abdominals. Okay, so 8. I don't know if I've done 8 or more. There we go. All right. So the last one now is the plank. You've been waiting for this one, I know. So the best way to get into a plank is from the floor. And we'll start with our arms on the mat. So you can do it from your hands if you've done this before. If you're starting out, press your toes into the floor. Your elbows are below your shoulders. Your hands are in front. And you're just going to lift your hips and hold. So try and keep your hips in line with your shoulder and your heels. So you're squeezing your abdominals to hold yourself up. You're holding your hips, squeezing your glutes, also support your hips. Try not to raise your butt up. You'll do that to relieve some of the pressure on your abdominals and hips, and you don't want to sag down either. So if you find that you're starting to droop or hitch up, it's time to stop. So just hold your plank until you feel like your form is getting a little shaky, and then come down. Okay? Great. So that's the core exercises we'll start with today. And if you are able to, you can go through them a couple times.